Oh no, the entire Justice League is down. We're all gonna die. We need a miracle. Huh? Why ain't I dead yet?
I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sex appeal.
Brewster, wake up. Huh? What? What's wrong, John? You're supposed to be on monitor duty, and we've got word that the Miss Universe pageant is under threat. So we need you to be on monitor duty and let us know if anything happens. Whoa, what? You want me to watch the Miss Universe pageant? What is up? How's the Legion of Comic Collectors doing? Well, it's been a minute for me. I've only had one really comic book haul in the last few months. There was a reason for that. There's one thing I had been trying to get for a good deal for a long time. Did manage to get a deal on it. It's not here yet. It's in the mail. That'll be the next video. But it kind of killed my enthusiasm for collecting comics. But after securing a deal for it, I felt like swinging by Tater Tots today. I had swung by there from my last haul video. They had bought a bunch of collections, including some DC collections, and had shown a whole bunch of Harley Volume 1, which is on my goals list. And they actually had a bunch of books in a different section that I didn't realize. I saw they posted on Instagram later that I didn't even look in the section where the new books were. So I went and looked today. And, yeah, let's jump into the haul. First off, I got this DC vs. Vampires All-Out War issue 2. I never really got the DC and Vampires books. I think I'd quit buying new books by then. And there's something I do kind of want to collect. I almost didn't pick this up because you could kind of get whole sets of them decently on eBay. But I ended up getting this one. Another book I do have already. I forget where I got my issue of this. But however I got it, it was beat up. Really bad shape. So coming across a cheap copy to replace it is nice. I do love the first issue special series. This next book was in that section. It and The Lady Cop are the only two books I found in the new section. And I actually passed this up, moved on, looked through like a whole other box. Because I thought I had this. I mean, they put out so many different anniversary specials, you know, like issue 100 or whatever specials. Thought for sure I had this with just like a different cover. But I pulled out CLZ and checked and I didn't. So I went back to that box and grabbed it. Wonder Woman 80th. And I looked everywhere. Could only find 2 Harleys. I did pick up issue 31 of Volume 1. And issue 30. Which is super cool. Was hoping to pick up more of them. Probably would have if I would have known where the new books were a few weeks ago when I went. But still happy nonetheless. I believe there's only 38 issues of this series. And this would put me a little over halfway to completing it. Is something I would really like to do is finish this Harley Quinn Volume 1. Now what's funny is, probably way back before the holidays, maybe in between Halloween and Thanksgiving, there's this little bookstore by me. They had a whole bunch of Nightwing books that were $2. And I didn't get any. I actually went back like a week later. I was at the store for like 45 minutes. And there was just one guy looking in the way. Had never went back to this bookstore. But I'd been thinking about it. And today I was really debating going there because I knew there was a box of Nightwing that were $2 a piece. And I kind of didn't want to pay that. But ended up going to Tater Tots instead. And from the last time I was there a few weeks ago, they had restocked their Nightwing section. So it ended up paying off. Really close. This is issue 112. I do have issue 113, which is Nightwing Legacy 300. But on my goals list, I just have up to issue 100 of this volume. And I'm really close. Like, I think I only need 5 or 6 now after this to have up to that. So we did find 64 and 63. They probably had about 2/3 of a long box. That was nothing but Nightwing. Here we are in the Rick Grayson era. And the other third of the long box was empty, like they were maybe getting ready to put more out. So I don't know if they did after I left. But they had good runs of every Nightwing volume. I mean, they probably had almost all 100 issues of the series that I'm looking for. Except for the few I didn't. Because, I mean, I'm going 1 through, what was this first one here? 64. I mean, they probably had the first 80 issues. They had all but the handful of issues I need. Just flipping right through and getting the ones I need. Which is very cool. Really happy. Because the Nightwings at that bookstore had been on my mind. So happy to get a good Nightwing one. Especially not having bought very many comics recently. It's funny, we all have different hobbies. And I do collect Pokemon cards, you know, manga, stuff like that. And it's like, man, comics will get so expensive. So you switch over to a different hobby. And I've been collecting Pokemon cards, and now there's like riots in stores for Pokemon cards. So it's like you switch back over to comics, where you could pick up books for $1 or $2. Really happy about this run of Nightwing. Issue 25. There's one issue I thought for sure I had. This one right here. Could have sworn I had this book, and my CLZ was saying I didn't. And there's like 2 or 3 copies of this, so I just got one. Like, you know, whatever. If I do have it, I'll give it to the kids. And putting it into the CLZ at home, it says it's the first appearance of Deathwing. I'm vaguely familiar with Deathwing, but don't quote me on his exacts. I think he's a Professor Pig creation, but it's been a minute since I've read his story, so I may be wrong. Cool Superman issue. And man, they had Crypto everywhere, Lobo everywhere. Tater Tots. Issue 4. And issue 5, unfortunately, the only New 52. I also did look through Batman, specifically searching for New 52. They even had a few on the wall, like issue 28, issue 1. But unfortunately, I did have those Batmans. Would really like to finish, especially Nightwing and Batman in New 52. But a really solid run of Nightwing. It's just special in general to find a run of one book that you really like, and one that's on your mind of wanting when you go out hunting. Always satisfying. Made a lot of headway. And then before leaving, my one daughter didn't want to come in, so my wife was sitting out in the car with her, And as I was getting ready to leave, they both came in and wanted to look around. So I was sort of killing time, and they had like a newer magazine section I hadn't flipped through. And I was seeing like a lot of Star Trek stuff. Did see some Beatle magazines, which is pretty cool, but I'm not interested in fan magazines. I am an avid Beatles collector. But I was looking through just for some DC Black Label stuff, and they did have some. But all the stuff I had, when I come across the whole run of Back Issue magazine, I have a couple of these. Like, I know I have a really cool Hawkman issue. And it's I always buy comic book magazines when I come across them cheap. Just fun to read and look through. And Back Issue, the couple that I have, seem really, really good. So I just sort of cherry-picked a bunch of DC. So we have issue 113, issue 91, issue 73, issue 57, and then issue 18. So I'm excited to read through those. And I'm excited for all the cool pickups I did pick up today. The next video will definitely be special. Something I've been, I had noticed years ago the price of it and sort of didn't pay attention to it. And probably about 9-10 months ago, I got real serious about wanting to get it, but didn't want to pay above a certain price. And it was a challenge. I mean, not that every single day I'm looking at it, but consistently looking at it to where probably around when the holidays are happening, I'd get sort of agitated about it. And actually caught me off guard. I made an offer and it was accepted. So that might be here this weekend or early next week, and I'll do a video just for it and talk about it about more. But guys, you know, I always appreciate you watching, especially since I don't make content as much as usual. I always appreciate hearing from the familiar friends. And I noticed all those people that watched my last video. Really appreciate it. Got a lot of views on my last video and my last short, especially when it's like months in between uploads. So I want you to know I do appreciate it, and I would love to hear from you in the comments again. What did you think of my haul? What do you think is coming in that is such a big deal? What do you guys think that could be? And with that, I'll see you all later.